Welcome. For millennia, the story of sport has been written in sweat and sinew, a testament to the limits of human endurance and the power of the will. From the ancient fields of Olympia to the hallowed stadiums of the modern era, victory was measured by the naked eye, and potential was a matter of raw talent and intuition. But today, a new chapter is being written. It's not just written on the track or in the pool, it's written in code, in algorithms, and in the quiet hum of servers processing terabytes of information. We are living through the single greatest transformation in the history of athletics. This is the era of sports technology, a domain where the boundaries between human and machine, athlete and data scientist are blurring. In this series, we dive deep into this exhilarating world of sports entrepreneurship and technology. We won't just look at the gadgets, we'll uncover the human stories behind them. We'll highlight the inspiring journeys of the visionaries, the dreamers, and the disruptors who challenged the odds, who faced down skepticism and failure, and ultimately changed the very definition of what it means to train, compete, and recover. These are the stories of people who saw a problem, a nagging injury, an inefficient training method, a lack of objective feedback, and dedicated their lives to solving it. They are the architects of a new athletic age, one where performance is not just pursued, but precisely engineered. We will explore how their innovations are reshaping every facet of the sporting experience, from the grassroots to the professional leagues. We'll see how smart fabrics can act like a second skin, monitoring muscle exertion and breathing patterns in real time. We'll witness how artificial intelligence can serve as a personal coach, analyzing form with superhuman precision and offering immediate, actionable feedback. We'll learn how personalized nutrition and recovery plans, once the exclusive domain of multi-million-dollar teams, are now becoming accessible to the weekend warrior, all thanks to the relentless drive of these entrepreneurs. Today's sports world is no longer limited to physical strength and mental fortitude alone. The playbook has been fundamentally rewritten. For decades, the pillars of improvement were volume and intensity, often guided by a coach's gut feeling. Now, the landscape is filled with technical innovations that have introduced a third crucial pillar: precision. The modern athletic ecosystem is a symphony of data points. Wearable technology has evolved from simple step counters into sophisticated biosensors, tracking everything from heart rate variability and blood oxygen levels to sleep cycles and metabolic efficiency. The very tools of the game are becoming intelligent. Basketballs that analyze your shooting arc, tennis rackets that measure swing speed and impact location, and cleats that calculate your explosive power. This fire hose of data is then harnessed by powerful AI and machine learning platforms. Computer vision systems act as tireless, analytical eyes, breaking down every frame of movement to find inefficiencies invisible to human perception. This fusion of hardware and software allows athletes and their teams to move beyond guesswork and into the realm of optimization, helping them to improve their performance with unprecedented accuracy. The frontier is even pushing inward, into our very biology, with companies offering DNA analysis to suggest personalized training and nutrition strategies based on an individual's genetic predispositions. This isn't about replacing the human element, it's about augmenting it, giving athletes and coaches the tools to make smarter, more informed decisions. The result of this technological revolution is a paradigm shift in what is possible. It allows athletes to find and exploit marginal gains, those tiny percentages of improvement that separate champions from the competition. But perhaps its most profound impact is the ability to help athletes avoid injuries. By monitoring workload and biomechanical stress, predictive analytics can flag potential issues before they become catastrophic, extending careers and preserving talent. This power helps athletes not only to achieve amazing results, but to do so more safely and sustainably. And crucially, this power is no longer confined to elite, multi-million-dollar training facilities. It is being democratized, placed into the hands of anyone with a smartphone and the will to improve. But what's the secret behind the success of these innovators? This revolution wasn't inevitable. It was built idea by idea, prototype by prototype, by a unique breed of entrepreneur who exists at the crossroads of passion and technology. What drives a person to pour their life savings into a device that might fail? How does a simple idea, sketched on a napkin in a locker room, survive the brutal journey through venture capital pitches, manufacturing challenges, and market skepticism? And how did their simple ideas, born from a personal frustration or a flash of insight, transform into global companies whose products are worn by millions, from Olympic champions to everyday enthusiasts? The answer is a complex mix of vision, resilience, deep user empathy, and a mastery of both sport and business. Join us as we decode the DNA of sports innovation. We'll explore the failures, the breakthroughs, the strategies, and the stories. Let's discover that together. Our journey into sports entrepreneurship begins with Jonathan Smith. From a young age, Jonathan lived in two worlds. By day, he was a dedicated cross-country runner, obsessed with shaving seconds off his personal best. By night, he was captivated by his first computer, teaching himself to code. This duality defined his youth. A deep passion for athletic performance fused with an insatiable curiosity for how technology could measure and enhance it. He wasn't just an athlete or a tech enthusiast. He was the blueprint for a new kind of innovator. This fusion of interest led to a profound frustration. He scoured the app stores for fitness trackers, but they were all disappointingly generic. The GPS tracking was inaccurate, turning his planned routes into jagged lines. The calorie counters felt like wild guesses, failing to differentiate between a jog and a sprint. They were passive data collectors, offering no real insight. Jonathan envisioned something more, a smart, intuitive partner that understood the nuances of his training and could provide personalized, actionable feedback to truly drive improvement. This dissatisfaction became his catalyst. He converted his parents' cramped garage into a makeshift innovation lab. Amidst lawn mowers and old paint cans, whiteboards were soon covered in complex algorithms and user interface sketches. He spent countless nights illuminated by his laptop, devouring coding tutorials and experimenting with early hardware prototypes. His initial goal was simple yet ambitious: to build an application from the ground up that could seamlessly and accurately track the core metrics, steps, heart rate and calories, with a precision that was missing from the market. The path from a garage prototype to a viable product was fraught with obstacles. He poured his meager savings into the project, but it wasn't enough. He drafted pitch decks and sent them to venture capitalists, only to be met with silence or polite rejections, citing a saturated market. Beyond funding, there was the challenge of visibility. How could a self-funded app compete in a crowded digital store? His first marketing attempts were grassroots and humbling, handing out flyers at local marathons, often to runners too focused to notice. But Jonathan's resilience was his greatest asset. He treated every piece of user feedback as a gift. He joined online forums not to promote, but to listen to what athletes wanted. This user-centric approach became his secret weapon. He'd spend all night fixing a bug reported by a single user and push an update the next morning. This dedication created a small but fiercely loyal community who became his evangelists. Slowly, the momentum shifted. A positive review on a tech blog caused a surge in downloads, and the growth curve began its steep ascent. Today, Jonathan's application is a global phenomenon. Its success lies in its ability to connect with a vast spectrum of users. It helps the elite marathoner analyze their pace to the second. It motivates the office worker to take the stairs, turning a mundane choice into a small daily win. It empowers an elderly couple to track their daily walks, giving them a tangible measure of their health. Jonathan's story is a powerful testament to how one person's passion, born in a garage, can ripple outwards, creating a tool that helps millions live healthier lives. Our next story begins not on the field, but in the world of numbers and algorithms, with a visionary named Layla Ahmed. From a young age, Layla lived a dual life. By day, she was a dedicated data scientist, fascinated by the elegant logic of code and the stories hidden within vast datasets. By night and on weekends, she was an ardent sports fan, her heart racing with every goal, every tackle, every strategic play. This unique combination of passions set her on a path to completely revolutionize how we understand athletic performance. We now move to Layla Ahmed, a woman passionate about sports and data science. Layla observed a glaring disconnect. While multi-billion-dollar sports franchises were investing heavily in talent, their methods for performance analysis remained surprisingly archaic. Coaches, armed with little more than stopwatches, clipboards and their own intuition, were making critical decisions. She noticed that major football teams don't have accurate analysis tools to evaluate their players' performance individually and collectively. They could track goals and assists, but what about the subtle metrics that truly define a player's impact? The off-the-ball runs that create space, the slight hesitation that signals fatigue. These were the invisible data points, the ghost in the machine of professional sports, and they were being completely overlooked. This is where Layla's expertise in data science came into play. She envisioned a system that could see what the human eye could not. Using artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques, Layla developed a platform that allows coaches to monitor player movements. The concept was groundbreaking. Using high-definition cameras positioned around the stadium, her AI could track every single player on the field simultaneously. It wasn't just about following the ball, it was about translating the chaotic, fluid motion of a game into a constant stream of precise, actionable data. Every sprint, every turn, every jump was captured, digitized and analyzed in real time. The platform went far beyond simple movement tracking. It allowed coaches to evaluate their performance with surgical precision, accessing dashboards showing a player's heat map, their average speed, and the G-force of their accelerations. But Layla's most revolutionary feature was predictive. By establishing a baseline of a player's normal biomechanical movements, the AI could flag subtle deviations, an altered running gait, a decrease in jump height. These were potential red flags, allowing the system to predict potential injuries before they occur, giving medical staff a chance to intervene before a minor strain became a season-ending tear. The road wasn't easy. Transforming this vision into a viable business was a monumental challenge, as she faced investor skepticism and difficulty building a specialized team. In boardrooms, she faced a wall of doubt from investors steeped in tradition. "You can't put a number on heart," they'd say. "Coaches have won for 100 years without this." Compounding the problem was the immense difficulty of assembling the right talent. AI specialists who understood sports, and sports scientists who could speak code. Yet with every no, she showed unbreakable determination, pouring her savings into the project and working tirelessly with a small team who shared her belief. Her breakthrough came from an underdog club, willing to gamble on innovation. The results were staggering. Their injury rate plummeted, and their on-field performance saw a dramatic uptick. Word spread through the tight-knit world of professional sports. Skepticism turned into curiosity, then urgent demand. Today, global teams rely on her platform to improve their results and achieve victories. From the Premier League to La Liga, her technology is not just helping teams win championships, it's fundamentally changing the game, making it smarter, safer, and extending the careers of the athletes we all love to watch. In the world of elite sports, the line between triumph and tragedy is razor-thin. For every moment of glory, there are 1,000 unseen battles against the body's own limitations. This brings us to another story, that of Michael Chen, an innovator whose journey began not on a podium, but on a physical therapist's table. He is the mind behind a revolutionary smart device designed not just to track sports injuries, but to prevent them from ever happening. His innovation was born from a deep, personal understanding of just how fragile a promising athletic career can be. Michael himself was once on the fast track to stardom. A collegiate sprinter with explosive speed, he was poised to make a run at the national championships. His dream, however, was consistently derailed by a familiar foe, recurring hamstring injuries. Each time he felt he was back at peak performance, the searing pain would return, sending him back to square one. It was a demoralizing cycle of intense training, fleeting hope, and crushing setbacks. This frustrating loop of injury and rehabilitation became the crucible in which his future purpose was forged. He realized the existing approach was entirely reactive. Medicine only stepped in after the damage was done. He began to wonder, what if technology could see the injury coming before it happened? What if you could get an alert, not when your muscle has torn, but when it's merely at risk of tearing? This question became his obsession, leading him away from the track and into the world of engineering and biomechanics, searching for an effective solution to reduce recovery time, enhance player longevity, and fundamentally change how we protect athletes. He dove headfirst into research, devouring texts on sports science, physiology, and sensor technology. With no formal engineering background, he taught himself to code, to solder, to design circuits. His first prototypes were crude, cobbled together with wires, tape, and sheer determination. He called his invention the kinetic guard. The core idea was to create a wearable that could act as an early warning system for the body. He integrated a suite of microscopic sensors, electromyography or EMG, to measure the electrical signals in muscles and detect signs of fatigue long before an athlete feels it, accelerometers to track the force and angle of every movement, and bioimpedance sensors to monitor subtle changes in tissue composition that could indicate inflammation or micro-damage. He invented a device that monitors the condition of muscles and joints in real time, creating a living, dynamic picture of an athlete's physical state. The true genius of the kinetic guard wasn't just in collecting data, but in translating it into actionable intelligence. Michael developed a sophisticated AI algorithm that learned each athlete's unique biomechanical signature. It established a baseline for their normal, healthy movement and muscle activation. During training or competition, the device continuously compares the real-time data against this baseline. When the algorithm detects dangerous deviations, a slight asymmetry in a runner's gait, a decrease in muscle firing power, or an unusual strain on a joint, it sends immediate wireless alerts to a tablet or smartwatch. It empowers players and coaches with predictive insights, flagging potential danger before it escalates into a full-blown injury. A coach could now see that a player's hamstring was fatiguing 15 minutes before they might have pulled it, allowing for a crucial substitution or a change in strategy. The impact was immediate and profound. After a successful pilot program with his old university team, which saw a 40% drop in soft tissue injuries in a single season, word began to spread. This invention revolutionized sports medicine, moving it from a reactive to a proactive discipline. It is now a trusted tool used in major professional sports clubs, advanced rehabilitation centers helping patients recover from surgery, and elite sports universities shaping the next generation of athletes and sports scientists. But success stories of this magnitude are never a straight line. They aren't just about the brilliance of an innovation, but about the grit and resilience required to face relentless failure. Michael's journey was littered with obstacles that would have stopped most people in their tracks. All these pioneers, from Jonathan and Layla to Michael, faced their own daunting crucibles. Michael pitched the kinetic guard to over 50 venture capitalists, most of whom dismissed the idea as too niche or the technology as unproven. He endured technical failures, including a key demonstration for a major apparel brand where his prototype dramatically short-circuited. He battled market pressures from larger companies trying to replicate his work and intense competition from other startups vying for the same limited funding and attention. What distinguished them and ultimately paved their way to success was not an absence of failure, but an obsession with learning from it. They treated every rejection as a lesson in communication, every technical glitch as a vital data point, and every piece of user criticism as a gift. What distinguished them was their insistence on learning from their mistakes, constantly seeking to improve their products, and listening with genuine humility to the needs and frustrations of their users. This feedback loop became their most powerful tool for innovation. As innovators like Michael were solving the body's physical puzzles, another critical frontier was opening up. The immense pressure, public scrutiny, and relentless demand for peak performance in modern sports were taking a heavy toll on athletes' mental well-being. Visionary entrepreneurs recognized this gap. Consequently, sports technology wasn't limited to physical performance only, but extended to include the crucial domains of mental health and psychological fitness. This new wave of technology offered a toolkit for the mind. Some companies began developing applications that help athletes train their mental acuity just as they would a muscle. These apps use techniques like heart rate variability biofeedback to teach stress management in real time. They offer guided meditations tailored for pre-competition focus or post-loss resilience. Others provide cognitive games to improve reaction time and decision-making under pressure, and even AI-driven platforms to optimize sleep and nutrition, recognizing that mental and physical health are inextricably linked. The world of sports technology also witnesses amazing collaboration between pioneers. In this fast-evolving industry, many founders realized that the challenges were too complex and the opportunities too vast to go it alone. A powerful ecosystem of incubators, accelerators, and open-source projects emerged, fostering a culture of shared progress. This collaborative spirit is a force multiplier. Many startups share knowledge, resources, and even anonymized data to help everyone improve their products faster. They understand that a breakthrough in one area, like battery life for wearables or a new algorithm for data analysis, can lift the entire industry. It's a philosophy where competition coexists with cooperation. Let's take a concrete example of this synergy, a partnership between two small specialized companies. Let's call them VirtueTrain, a startup specializing in virtual reality technologies for immersive athlete training, and KindSense, a company that, much like Michael Chen's, provides smart devices for granular motion analysis. Separately, their products were powerful. Together, they could be revolutionary. By combining their expertise, they were able to create a comprehensive virtual training experience that was previously unimaginable. Now, a player can wear the VR headset and be fully immersed in a game simulation, reacting to virtual opponents. Simultaneously, the KindSense sensors track every minute detail of their biomechanics. The integrated system can provide instantaneous feedback saying, "Your knee valgus increased by 10 degrees on that cut, elevating ACL strain risk," or "Your shot release was 20 milliseconds slower when the virtual defender was closer." They created a system enabling players to train as if they were on the real field, with a complete microscopic analysis of their performance and movements. When we look to the future, this trend of integration and intelligence only accelerates. The next frontier of sports technology is heading towards a seamless fusion of artificial intelligence, invisible and ubiquitous wearable devices, and deeper, more predictive data analysis. We're moving beyond just preventing injury or analyzing the past. We're moving towards predicting the future and personalizing every aspect of an athlete's career. Imagine an AI coach that designs a unique training, nutrition, and recovery plan for an athlete every single day, based on their genetic makeup, metabolic state, and mental readiness. Imagine smart textiles where the uniform itself is the sensor, or ingestible biosensors that provide real-time data on hydration and nutrient levels. However, this future also raises critical ethical questions about data privacy and ownership that the next generation of innovators must address. Entrepreneurs who focus on responsibly integrating these technologies with athletes' needs will shape the future of sports and completely change the way we train, compete, and understand the limits of human potential. The stories of Jonathan, Layla, and Michael aren't just individual success stories. They represent the pillars of a true sports revolution. Jonathan built community, Layla championed accessibility, and Michael pushed the boundaries of human performance. They are powerful examples of how one person's passion, sparked by a personal experience and a small idea, can evolve to become a global force for change. Their journeys teach us a profound lesson about progress. Every small step, every late night in the lab, every failed experiment, and every challenge overcome is a necessary part of the path. These moments of struggle are not detours. They are the building blocks that lead to true innovation and excellence. If you're watching this and you dream of being part of this world, if you have an idea that just won't leave you alone, remember their stories. The road won't be easy, but your unique passion, your relentless persistence, and your commitment to innovation can open doors you can't yet imagine. Find the friction in your own world, the problem you can't stop thinking about. That is where your journey begins. Learn from every experience, especially the failures. Listen to your users with empathy. They are your ultimate guide. And never fear failure, for it is not the opposite of success. It's an integral part of the journey toward it. In the end, sports technology isn't just about tools, gadgets, or data. It's a new vision for human potential. It's a testament to our drive to understand ourselves better, to push our boundaries safely, and to make the sports we love more accessible and inspiring for everyone. It's a way to improve our lives and performance and create a better, healthier world for sports and all the athletes within it. These inspiring stories are the ultimate proof that the largest and most impactful ideas almost always start with a small, simple step, and with one person who dares to believe in their dream and has the courage to pursue it against all odds.